This video is brought to you by my good friends over at patriotpost.us. They are an excellent source of news, information, op-eds, and all that good stuff. And the link for them will be in the description box. So when you head over in there and subscribe, tell them that ABL sent you. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the very first documented case of a coronavirus death here in the US of A. Now, before I begin, rest in peace to the individual that died and prayers out to their family. Now, when the story first broke, which is only about a couple of hours ago, today, February 29th, 2020, they were described as a man of unknown age, unknown race, in King County, Washington, which is Seattle. But then Trump gave a press conference in which he said the person was a woman. We still don't know their age. And then he also said that they were in King County, Washington, Seattle. So there's still information to be given about the person. Like I said, we're still really early. The story just broke. They're launching an investigation to see how they caught it. But as of right now, they're saying that the person did not travel overseas, or there's no evidence of them traveling overseas, meaning they didn't go to China and catch it over there. And there's also no evidence of them knowing somebody that came from China and having direct contact with them. So for right now, it's being described as community spread, which means you just kind of go out, you're doing your daily routine, and you just catch it. You don't know what the origin is. You don't have the proverbial patient zero to point at and say, they got it from there. There's no ground zero or anything like that, no hotbed to point at. It just kind of caught it. And unfortunately, they passed away. Now, like I said, there was a press conference, and the press conference was kind of crazy. Trump and Pence and everybody that is helping with the whole situation, people from CDC and whatnot, they're doing a fantastic job. They seem to have all their I's dotted and T's crossed. So that part of the press conference was A-okay. But then when they got to the question and answer section from the media, it's all over the place. It's talking about, oh, you used the word hoax while talking about it. Do you regret it now? A terrible question. When Trump was talking about hoax as it relates to the coronavirus, he was not talking about the virus. He was talking about the way the Democrats, the way the left, and the way the leftist media are portraying his handling of it. It's a way to try to attack him, the same thing as the Russia kerfuffle and everything else. It's a hoax in that sense, as it's being politicized by them. The virus itself obviously is real. He was not saying the virus is fake. He's talking about how people are politicizing it, which I said in my video yesterday before he even came on stage and said that. It's pretty obvious to anybody with a pair of eyes what's going on, but I digress. The point is that some of the questions were all over the place. They were trying to question one of the disease experts on stage, talking about, are you being muzzled? Can you talk? I mean, it was just really ridiculous. A bunch of bad faith questions, a bunch of rumors to try and attack the administration when that should not be happening right now. Okay, we have a disease that's going around. It's a high death toll in China. We didn't want that to happen over here in the US. And then getting back to the political left right quick, people like Nancy Pelosi and many others, Joe Biden, many others talking about, oh, the president is not giving enough money. We need more. You're talking about $2 billion and change. We need $8 billion and change. He's not ready. He's doing things too late. And then the same thing with Mike Pence, talking about Mike Pence had a bad effort in Indiana with the HIV outbreak. How was he going to help this? Meanwhile, Indiana was the model of public health in the United States. That was very well known by the healthcare field professionals on the left and the right, and agnostic politically, while Pence was a president. So people are just saying things that have no basis in reality. Trump made a good point on stage during the press conference when he said, hey, I acted pretty quickly to stop the travel. If it were not for that, there could be many more cases in the US. And he's right. Okay. You don't want to have people to come from China over here, not knowing they have the virus, slip in, and patient zero's right there. Now you have a whole community that is at risk. Okay, so you don't want that over here. He did the right thing to restrict travel and do quarantine. The case of coronavirus is being handled properly over here in the US. To try and point the finger at Trump or Pence or anybody else for the disease just being here at all is absurd. But I digress. Now, when I do videos like this, I gotta just calm down some of the panic because you're seeing the Dow sell off real quick because of coronavirus fears. People in the media are trying to stoke fear. They're trying to engage in fear mongering to make you afraid, to make you watch their stations so you can see what's going on because you're so afraid. I gotta quiet some of that down. There's been one death. Now, when any person dies, it's sad. I'm not trying to downplay the one death, but put it in context. This particular outbreak is like the flu. It ain't the same thing, but it's very similar to it. Respiratory, coughing and sneezing, a lot of the same symptoms, a lot of the same things that are going on. It's just not the flu. In the US in 2017 and 2018 winter, you had 80,000 people die of the flu, or what they say, flu-related complications. 80,000 people, according to the CDC, and I'll place that article on the screen before you and also in the box below so you read it for yourself. And we're talking about one death of the coronavirus. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm not trying to say it's nothing, but 80,000 people in the US, and we have flu shots available. So, I mean, the flu is much more deadly than this. And there have been other, disease scares. Remember SARS, bird flu, H1N1 was the worst. I'll place a map on the screen before you that shows you the intensity of the amount of cases in each country or continent or whatever. The darker you get, the more severe the case is. And you can see what H1N1 was on. So this particular case right now of the coronavirus, although we need to be prepared and not just let our guard down because we don't want an unknown disease to come into the country at all, period. But there's no need for panic because we've been here before, number one. And then number two, the death toll from this is nowhere near as high as other diseases have been. If you are not elderly or a very young person with a compromised immune system or sick already, you're going to be fine. You'll have some mild symptoms. Maybe you might need to get sent to a hospital on a rare occasion to get treated. But generally, you have mild symptoms, a cough or a sneeze, and after a while, you'll be okay. Similar to the common cold or the flu. Simple. It really ain't nothing else to it. Now, like I said, you shouldn't just poo-poo it and say it's nothing, but there's no point of overreacting and being so afraid of the situation and trying to politicize it. Shame on you. It's not time for that. I know we're in a race right now. People are trying to become the president. They're trying to dethrone the current president. I get it. But right now ain't the time for that. The disease does not see left or right, Democrat, Republican, red, blue. It's not a game-banging illness. It's an illness, period. And you may get caught with it. So your best bet is to just be safe. And hopefully people that are in charge are going to keep us safe. Securing the borders, limited travel from the hotbed areas. I don't want a plane full of people from Wuhan, China, straight from the epicenter to land right here where I live. I just don't want that. That's kind of just common sense thinking. So if we can keep that under control, I think everything will be fine. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that the left and the media and leftist media together have overreacted to the whole coronavirus kerfuffle, henceforth being a hoax that Trump was talking about? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or are they reacting appropriately because you want to see the best of the best be on the job and prevent this nation from going downhill with just devastating disease? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. The way I see it is people are kind of wanting the best for America, but some people don't care about what's best for America. They're more concerned about just trying to gain points. There's no off switch for them. They're always on the attack mode. It shouldn't be like that, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.